Hello everybody, Frozen Duels here with another deck profile, and today is Sunday, so I will be bringing you another one of these videos every Sunday and Wednesday if you didn't know that already. Now let's get into the deck. This is a Masked Hero deck profile, and this deck has been pretty popular in the format lately simply because of Darklaw with his OP shutting down every single deck that ever lived-ness. That's a word. And anyway, let's just get onto this deck profile. So to start off, we have one Neo Salius. This is basically just you can get out your Kuga if you ever need him. And he's the 1900 beat stick, so what's not to love? We have 3 Shadow Mist. This is definitely your searcher of the deck. If it's special summoned, you get a Mask Change card to your hand. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you get an elemental hero to your hand. So it basically searches everything. It's really good. Next we have 2 Bubblemans, just because you'll find yourself with no cards in your hand so often. Like a good combo is normal summon Stratos, and then special Bubbleman, and then go an instant rank 4 XC. It's just so good. And now we have 1 Stratos, and yes, I know this is an OCG deck profile, so don't go ballistic when you're like, hey, that card's illegal and stuff. And I wish it was legal in the TCG too. It's not even that overpowered, in my opinion. Who am I kidding? It's so overpowered, it's ridiculous. But next we have 2 Goblinberg. It's a good target for Mask Change 2 for Diane, so that's good. And also, he's just an easy to get out Shadow Mist with her effect. Next we have 1 Summoner Monk. If you're playing TCG, take out the Stratus and add another Summoner Monk. That'll definitely please you because it's only semi-limited in the TCG, I believe. But you just run so many spells in this deck, it's the best, and everything is level 4, so. Next we got 1 Rhoda. It's limited, but you still gotta have it. 3 Hero Lives. This is really good, like, first turn if you just want to get something out real quick. And it's also good when you're stuck somewhere in a tight spot or something. Someone just Darkhold you, and you can come back with this. Got 3 Mask Change, obviously. I run 1 Mask Change 2. It's a target for Goblinberg and Summoner Monk if you really need to. But it also discards a card, which I'm pretty sure activates Shadow Mist's Hero Search effect. Yeah. Next we got 1 Mask Charge. This is really good late game just to restart those OTKs. We got 2 Emergency Call just to search for your elemental heroes. Our back row hate, we got Harpy's Feather Duster and 3 MST. Because back row is actually becoming more relevant, I've seen. It wasn't so much in the last format before April 1st, but it's getting bigger, definitely. Next we got 2 Miracle Fusion, just so you can bring out the 3 non-mask heroes I include. Shining, Escurideo, and Absolute Zero. Got 2 Forbidden Lands, typical, and 1 Form Change. I'm kind of debatable on this card. Like, it sucks if you draw it, and you don't get Miracle Fusion anytime in the game, but it's come in handy in some cases, so I do run 1 of these. And for the last spell, we have 1 Monster Reborn. If you don't run this in the OCG, you're a fool. For the traps, we got 1 Compulse, 2 Call the Haunted, just because you'll find monsters in your graveyard like crazy, 1 Vanities, 2 Prison, 1 Solemn Warning, Trap Stun, and Hero Signal. Hero Signal's been working okay. It's for those situations where you're like stuck and all you can do is like set a Bubbleman or something, like you have an absolutely bad hand, but you can play that and come back for it, special summon Shadow Mist with it, and then get that instant Darklaw out. It's just so good. Now to the extra deck. We got 2 Darklaw. This is your main card of the deck. It could be special summoned using Shadow Mist, or Summoner Monk if you really want to. But its effects are any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. So it's basically like a Dimensional Fissure, except only for your opponent, and that just shuts down so many different decks. It's so good. Like, Shadows can't function. Everything can't function. And its second effect is when your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase or the damage step, banish 1 random card in their hand. So that nerfs searching. It's just such a good card. It's basically the anti-meta of everything. Next, for the Masked Heroes, we got one Koga, because we do include allies in this deck, and it's just really good, because you can nerf others' attack and it gains attack, so it's a giant beater, basically. Next, we got Kamikaze. This is for Stratos. Obviously, if you're playing TCG, you won't want to run this, because, let's face it, Avion is a piece of crap. But it must be special summon with Mask Change like the others. It can't be destroyed by battle, which is really good in situations. And it also limits your opponent's attack. They can only attack with one monster during each battle phase, so that's really good. And when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you draw a card. So this is just like a pile of awesome. You have to run it if you're running Stratos. Next, we got one Diane. I run this because you do want to Mask Change too, and it's your target for Goblinberg. And it's really good. You can special summon heroes from your deck and swarm the field really easily. For our other Dark, we got one Anki. He's been pretty interesting. He's like Shadow Mist, he's a search for your mask changes. And also he can attack directly. So that can get around things like Marshmallow, which I just had a duel against and was really extremely infuriating. But Anki got me out of it. Next, we got, for the last mass hero, we got one Acid, which is your Bubble Man target, and he's just for back row hate. Like, in case you never come across these, he's your back row clearer. Now for the 3 elemental heroes, we have the Shining. This guy's just really good. 300 attack for your removed from play elemental heroes, which is 2 automatically because of Miracle Fusion. And when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 2 of your removed from play heroes and put it in your hand. Just a really good card in general. Next, we have Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. What can I say? It's your field clearer. If you need a Black Rose, that's not as hard to get out, in my opinion. There you go. And it's especially better because when it leaves the field in any way, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Like, that's so good. Having problems, just like Fusion Summon Absolute Zero, form change it, clear all your opponent's monsters, and then get out a huge beater like Acid or something. Just really good. And lastly, we have one Escurideo, just because we always have elemental hero monsters in our graveyard, and he's another target for these guys. Not really a target, but he's a dark monster, so there you go. Now to the Xyzs. We have 5 level 4 Xyzs, and these have been working pretty well. We got one Silent Honor Arc, pretty typical. We got one Heroic Champion Excalibur. You have to run this in warrior decks. If you have a warrior deck that has level 4s, you have to run it. It's a 4,000 attack OTK king. Like, he is half of your opponent's life points in a single turn, so. You got one Castell, obvious reasons. I've been running one Comics Hero King Arthur. Now, this is kind of an odd choice, so I'll explain it. His effect is, he needs 2 level 4 warrior monsters. We got that covered with our whole lineup. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can detach one Xyz material instead. So I like that because, you can detach Shadow Mist to get her effect for the search. It's just come in handy a lot. And when you do, it gains 500 attack and inflicts 500 damage to your opponent. So every time it survives, it grows stronger. So you could even potentially Kamikaze it against like another monster to have it grow stronger and inflict a bit of damage to your opponent. I've just found this really good, but if you want to switch it out for something like Abyss Dweller, feel free. And lastly, we have Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, which is another staple. Field clear, what more can you want? Well guys, that's it for this deck profile. If you enjoyed it, definitely make sure to leave a like below. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Well guys, that's it, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.